Child's Play 3. Don Mancini, what the fuck was this shit? This is the borderline trash of the series. Alright, I think that this movie is awful, and anyone who likes it is a fucking moron, because this movie is anything but good. It opens with the Play-Pal's factory, all run down, cobwebs and shit everywhere. Chucky's remains are found, I guess. Big crane comes down. I'm just going to summarize the movie. I'm not going to go into every fucking detail. Because I hate this movie that damn much, and I just want to get through this shit. Because it's starting to annoy me, like, a lot. So, Chucky's remains from the second film are lifted up on a crane, and it's dragged over. The opening titles begin, and some of his blood, still possessed by Charles Lee Ray, drips into a vat of molten plastic. It swirls down, and he resurrects himself as the opening titles show. There's blood and plastic melting in reverse. For fuck's sake, that's not creepy or cool. That's disgusting and abhorrent. I don't know why the fuck that Universal decided that that was a good idea. The director is an like absolute fucking idiot. So he doesn't know how to direct shit. This movie really shows that very much. We open to the asshole CEO Play-Pal's guy from the second movie. He only made a brief appearance in that. He gets killed off in this one. He says Andy Barclay's a just ancient history, you know, he's nothing. And another dude comes out holding a good guy doll, the good guy of the 90s, as they literally say it. And you get a POV shot for a second. They do it as a jump scare. This movie tries to utilize jump scare effects this time. But let me tell you, once do they actually do that, and it actually works. But the guy takes the doll to his office, huge office. He's got a bunch of fucking toys all over the place. And he tells this one dude, like, oh, you're done, just go home for the night and stuff like that. And then we get a slow panning shot of him alone, and we get the box, and it comes over, and a huge jump scare sound effect, like right there in your face. Instead of a normal musical score, it's like a bang. They utilize the bang musical effects to try and make it like, oh my gosh, instead of, oh no, something scary. No, it's bam, like right there. And they're like going over to the box, and then that sound effect, bang, shows that Chucky's out of the box. He's gone. The box is open, and he's not in it. Nice job showing us that how we got out of the box, dumbasses. This scene takes around 7 fucking minutes to actually get to the actual kill. And Chucky basically fucks with him for 7 whole minutes by turning on all of his toys and stuff. The guy's looking around. At one point he plays golf. Once he hits a ball, you get a leg shot. Chucky's in the background. This is the jump scare that actually got me. They do the bang sound effect again with the music right after, like the second after he hits the golf ball, CEO. You get a background leg shot of Chucky running past to try and make this movie scarier, but it tries way too hard. And the fucking poster where Chucky just you know, like just grinning, like with a drop of blood coming from his lip, and the red pupils, the fuck's up with that? That does not match. The theme music does not match at all. It just doesn't match anything. This movie just doesn't. It just doesn't. What doesn't it do? Anything right. Other than that one jump scare. I will give you that. This movie was just so fucking corny. It was unnecessary. You could have stopped after 2 or stop after 1, because again, the first 7 movies fail. This one fails fucking more than the first 2 put together. So I hate it so much. And Chucky eventually kills him. He says my favorite line of the movie, "Don't fuck with the Chuck." Like right whenever he says that. And what the fuck is wrong with his face in this movie? He's constantly, like, grinning, like, whenever he talks, his mouth moves, instead of the first one where his mouth slightly moves like this, and then the second one where it's, you know, kind of just like this. The third one, he's constantly fucking grinning. Kind of like, you know, he's constantly grinning, and I get it, he has a more squished in face, but his design is just fucking horrible. It just doesn't look right. And he's constantly grinning. I mean, 90% of the movie, he's constantly grinning. Like this. It doesn't fucking add up, and it only makes the movie less enjoyable than it already isn't. Fuck you, Don Mancini, for screwing this one up. And please stop doing films, because they're not good. The remake is. Thank you, United Artists, and Mark Hamill, who does a surprisingly better job than Brad Dourif. He's trying to find Andy, where he's at now, looks it up on the computer, and Andy's at this military school. Yeah, nice fucking going, Universal. This movie came out not even 365 days, one whole year after the second one. This was supposed to be the end of the series, but they decided, nah, just make more, but have Chucky be the center of the attention. Yeah, right. What else is there? Oh, yeah. We then see a now 16-year-old Andy Barclay, played by Justin Whalen, instead of Alex Vincent, because again, 1 year later, and it's supposed to take place 8 years after the second one. And Andy's not really fitting in that great. Constantly, basically, he still gets shit on, basically. He never gets a fucking break in any of these three movies. You didn't need him for this one. Except now he has to be the protector of this new kid named Tyler. And Chucky somehow gets himself there, like, the next day. Then there's this asshole guy, Shelton, who takes his job way too seriously and treats everyone horribly. There's this girl named Kristen, and there's this one dude who's just a sacrificial character who sacrifices himself towards the third act, known as Whitehurst. Tyler receives a package that he's supposed to deliver to Andy, and it's Chucky. He instead takes it for himself, and Chucky bursts out of the package and realizes that since he's got a new body, you know, since his body legitimately reformed itself, good job, he thinks that now he can tell Tyler his true identity, even though he's already fucking human, because, newsflash, when he gets his face cut off in the third act, going for a Two-Face look, you can see muscles and everything, so this wouldn't work anyway. This is one of Universal's worst fucking choices. Second worst choice that Universal ever did, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single fucking one of you who made these films. Even you, Dourif. You should have been in the remake. Actually, stay away from that. That movie's good. Chucky fails at trying to get into Tyler's body because the general comes down and takes Chucky away from Tyler because, you know, soldiers are supposed to be soldiers and kids can't be playing with dolls anymore because he needs to grow up. And where the hell is Kyle or anyone from the original two movies? Seriously, what the fuck, guys? You really hated this little fucking bastard this much? And, Chucky's done messing around, except He's barely even in this. Seriously. As much as we see him, he's only here to kill people. That's it. He's barely shown. He's barely focused on at all. We're trying to focus more on Andy in this story. Andy's constantly getting picked on. One dude dies in the garbage truck. I thought that was kind of impressive, but why did you need to do that? The general gets scared by him and has a heart attack. Again, I'm just summing up this piece of shit. I don't want to go over every fucking detail. It sucks. The freaky-ass barber. Oh, God. I know the guy was trying his damnedest to be creepy in this movie, but what the fuck? This guy is a local pedophile. And I despise him in real life. The actor is a monster for doing this movie. Anyone who acts a certain way in one movie, I hate them in real fucking life and want nothing to do with them because they are sick, twisted bastards. I judge people by how they act, even if they're in movies or TV shows. This movie is one of those reasons why. I cemented that as one of my laws of how I judge people. In fact, it's the law how I judge people. If however they act in a movie or a TV show, that's how you're judged. If you're an asshole in a movie or an asshole in a TV show, doesn't matter if you're an asshole in real life. I will hate you, okay? I fucking hate you. That's basically how that kind of thing works. If you're a bad person, like really, really bad or just creepy in a movie or something, I hate you and want nothing to do with you and stop doing any kind of movies or anything because you're awful. That's how it's been going for roughly 12 years now. Almost 13 next July. I think June or July. Whatever. Back to this horrible piece of shit that I wish never fucking existed. What else? Oh yeah, they do this fucking tedious thing where, they make the Warren have a heart attack from seeing Chucky, and Chucky's just like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But the one good line that I really like from this movie is where Chucky says, Ollie, Ollie, oxen free, get out here, you little son of a bitch. I still laugh at that line. There are a couple of lines where it's funny, but not that funny at all. And then there's the one scene where Chucky and Tyler get to the carnival and the guard is killed. Just to add up the body count, but still, what the hell? You really needed to kill off that guy even though he was on screen for exactly 20 seconds? Come on, guys. Use your heads a little more. Don't just bring people into a movie to die. Give them a legitimate reason to be in the movie other than just to die. Have you seen the Halloween movies? You know what I'm talking about. They're all god-awful movies. Oh yeah, I hate the Halloween movies. And want them to stop. Because I watched the fourth one, stopped halfway through the fifth, and I don't give a shit if there's more. I don't care. Please do a sequel to the Chucky remake. That is more important than any other horror series or even the original Chucky films, period. Because everything other than the Child's Play remake sucks. I'm not kidding. I've barely seen them all. I just stopped caring about them because they got, a few things wrong. Anyway, back to this. Andy and Kristen are in the woods for that paintball thing where Chucky switches out the red team's paintball bullets with real ammunition, and Shelton is killed. Whitehurst sacrifices himself, and Chucky's like watching Andy and Kristen kiss from behind a tree, and I thought to myself, still to this day, when I watched it last month, I legitimately thought this. Why the fuck was he spying on him? Seriously, why was he watching him? And Chucky just thinks that since he can get into Tyler, there's no more use for Andy. Oh, might as well go kill him. And two, when Chucky and Andy first see face to face in this movie, Chucky tells Andy his plan of getting into Tyler's body. Why would he tell him that? You know that Andy's just gonna try and kill him anyway, and he legitimately tries to get him anyway, but still, why would Chucky tell Andy his own plan? Why would Chucky tell Andy his plan anyway? Because he's still gonna lose. You know. We're almost at the end here. Chucky knocks Tyler out on the top of a carnival ride on a hill. Chucky's face is sliced off, revealing that he's already fully human, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. He's just trying to do the chant once and for all. And he's climbing up the hill and using a gun, the Hill of Skulls, if you don't know, from the roller coaster rides right in the center. And there's a huge fan, which plays a part here in a minute. He's trying to shoot at Chucky. He shoots his arm off. Chucky's still going. Shoots him in the chest. And he climbs up. And Chucky just... Andy climbs up there. And Chucky just tries strangling him with his one arm, which is kind of pointless. Tyler gives Andy his knife. Andy opens it, cuts off Chucky's other hand, and tosses him. Basically just nudges him off of his back, and he falls into the fan while screaming at the top of his lungs, and Chucky is sliced apart into pieces, killing him. Except he just hits the top of the plates, and his pieces go flying everywhere instead of him actually getting sliced up. You know, like a paper shredder, how you put a piece of paper in there and the blades, and then it just goes down straight in. Instead, it's him. Here's the fan. Here's him. That's basically what happens instead of... And then his blood goes splurting everywhere. Andy is hauled off by the police for fucking no reason at all. Kristen, who got hurt in an earlier scene, is taken to the hospital. And right after Chucky is killed, Andy and Tyler are... Well, Tyler's last scene with Andy up on the Skull Hill looking down at the fan. At Chucky's now chopped to slices up, mauled up body. And that's the last time we see Tyler in the series. This movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And let me tell you, I have a plan to do a list of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life, period. And this one makes that list. I don't know what number yet. There's still fucking 4 movies that I still have to go over. And one of those other movies after Child's Play 3 is also on that list. And you will actually be surprised of how much I have so much hate. How much hate that I have for that particular movie. So, I'm going to go, and I will get the Bride of Chucky spoiler thing ready. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm just going to explain a few details, spoil a few scenes, explain my favorite funny line that Chucky says throughout the whole movie, and that is it. Fuck Child's Play 3.